Okay. Hi. We are live. I see that Boo is already here, and I didn't even post that I was live yet. Hi, Boo. Maybe you can help me. Can you hear me? First of all, can you hear me? Just want to make sure you can hear me. Please say something in the chat to confirm that you can hear me. Anything? Hello? Is this working? Can you hear me? Okay. I have to assume no one can hear me either. Don't know why that wouldn't be working. At any rate, I am having trouble getting RetroArch working. Um, yeah, for some reason, discs 1 and 2 of Wild Arms 2, I have them both in RetroArch, but they are accessing completely different memory cards, like virtual memory cards in the thing, and I can't figure out how to fix that. So I'm just trying to figure out how to fix that. Okay, there's Boo.
Hey guys.
And Rachel just woke up. Hi, Rachel.
He's gonna try to help you out.
Okay. Yes, turtles. Can you hear me, Boo? Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. Oh, okay. I was asking if you could hear me earlier. How much have you heard? Because I was explaining. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. Oh, you just tuned in the last few seconds. Okay, that's why. Yeah. Hi. So I'm having a problem trying to get RetroArch working. Here, I can. Well, no, I can't really show. Yeah, RetroArch is saving the disk 1 and disk 2 save files. Um, Separately. Maybe that fixed it? Nope. So you can see these are all my old disk 2 save files. Yes.
I'm trying to keep your attention.
Sorry, I'm live.
Yes, I know.
But it's not working, so we're not missing anything. Okay, Rachel's going to try and help me.
Let your arc loaded up. Load up disc 1.
Load disk 1.
Load up the last disc you were playing on that you made a save on and you actually got through.
Okay.
You ordered what you needed for each disc, right?
Yes.
Okay, load up your last save with disc 1.
Okay. Yeah, the reason you see me and not the game is I haven't switched over to the game yet. And the reason I haven't done that is because I can't figure out how to get it to do this correctly. Rachel is trying to help me.
You just loaded it.
I am loading it now.
Reload
Okay, I'm going to. Normally, I post a link to my streams on Blue Sky and Mastodon. Um, I haven't done that yet because I haven't figured out how to solve this problem yet. Oh, Claire's here. Hi, Claire. Hi. I haven't even posted a link yet because I'm still trying to figure out a technical problem. Okay, so here I am in disk 1,
Alright.
and it's completely different save files.
Okay.
I'm loading disk 1.
Okay, load your tape.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I did post, that's right.
It says load this
So it
two.
says disk 2. Sorry, Claire, the issue is the two disks are reading two completely different virtual memory cards in RetroArch, so I can't get disk 2 to load the save file that I saved on disk 1. Rachel is helping me now. Okay, so now what do? I pull up the menu.
Yep.
There's the menu.
Go down to the very bottom of the options.
Okay. The very bottom is information.
Yep, go up forward till you see disk control.
Disk control. Okay, that's in a different. It's in a different order, but I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember it doing that before, although I'm not sure if I've played RetroArch. If I've done Wild Arms on, I must have because it has the save files. I must have messed something up in the settings because I've tried messing around with RetroArch trying to make it intuitive for me, and I think I messed it up and made it worse. Anyway, okay, if I hit and then I select disk 2, okay. Okay, if it works, nope, still stuck.
And try to kind of start with the game.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. Um. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think that's okay. All right. All right. I got it working. Don't know why I had that problem, but I got it working. So I will go ahead and I'll post my links really quick, and then uh, I'll start. Without further ado. And there's Nick. Hi, Nick. Okay. And there we go. Okay. All right. And let's go ahead and switch over to the game. minimize that. Alright. That was annoying, but thanks to Rachel, who was my rock in all of this, we got it figured out. Let's go. New opening theme, by the way. I'll let it play once in its entirety. Whew. That song will never, ever, ever get old. Never gotten tired of it. Okay. Yes, you are correct, Claire. At the end of Disc 1, Ashley, who was not able to get to the escape pod in time, had gone up with the ship. It's a floating aerial fortress that rose into the atmosphere, or out of the atmosphere of the planet. And he seemed to be protected by some sort of bubble, so he's not dead. But he's seemingly unconscious and with no, way to get back. That's where we left off. And Boo, you said when you played Wild Arms 2, you used EPSX. Yeah, I used to use that one. I think I used it more often. But it had some emulation problems. There were parts of the game that were not emulating the way that I remember them as a kid, which was not great. It also isn't as flexible as RetroArch. RetroArch is incredibly accurate and incredibly flexible. It can theoretically do anything you want. I just don't know how to get it to work right. What did you say? What? Okay. All right. But yeah, enough about the emulators. Let's get back to the story. Lot of story to get through today. Marina is thinking of Ashley. So I'm planning on taking on the hidden bosses. Well, definitely not today. Yeah, honestly, I think I probably would. I'll probably do 10 of them. All of them except Ragu and Engelmaw. Those are the 10 that I'm usually content. Like I feel like I've done everything I want to do when I beat those 10. The other 2 are really freaking hard. But I would like to do, a nice tour of them. Anyway. Where is Ashley right now? Here's what he sees. I'm alive. This isn't Filgaia. It's not a rational deduction, but I'm certain this isn't Filgaia. That's right. When he grabbed the Argot Lum, we saw her in the light. It's the same feeling of protection I got when the Heimdallgazo exploded. Anastasia the Sword Magus. I had always hoped we'd have a chance to talk. This is the part of the game that kind of gets into some of my personal religious beliefs. It's had the most spiritual impact on me. Because this is a deeply spiritual section. The Sword Magus is, of course, a religious figure in this game. They worship her as a savior. And she's been watching him. There were moments where you were a bit pathetic, but then you do something very bold and brave. But with Marina, you weren't terribly brave or forthcoming. Marina is actually... Well, you're blushing. How sweet. Makes a big sister want to take you in her arms and take care of you. It's, well, unexpected. The image I had of the Sword Magus was, well, a little different. Very pretty music here, yeah. This is one of those parasocial relationship situations where Ashley, like everyone in Filgaia, grew up with this image of the Sword Magus, of who she was as a perfect, noble person who sacrificed herself to protect everyone. And now he gets to meet her, and what is she like, really? It's so selfish. You think it's okay to just force your will on everyone? Disappointed? Well, this is the real me. Even your older sister thinks about guys sometimes. Before I was the Sword Magus, I was just a girl called Anastasia. I can't help it. Want to go home? Do you want to go to Filgaia, to the world where Marina is waiting for you? If the world of the living is this side and the world of the dead is the other side, then this is the interval, the boundary between both places. Here, memories from when I lived in Filgaia remain. It's a ruin of memories. I might be able to make contact. This is Lucy, the Guardian of Desire. There's no reason it'd be accompanied by a body, but this one is flesh and blood. The realm between life and death is full of very nice key changes. Yes, there are battles here. Which is a good thing, because this is the only time we get to see Anastasia and Lucide in battle. I suppose it's not a huge spoiler to say that Ashley will make it back to Filgaia and Anastasia will not. Lucide will not. Kinda, yeah. It's not terribly specific. It's allegorical. Incidentally, here's what Anastasia looks like in the menu. Her class is Sword Saint, which I think at some point I confirmed is the same phrase in the original Japanese as Sword Mages. They just didn't have enough room because the class field only has 11 characters. And she's got the Arget Lom equipped. But overall, she's just a person. She has 2 of her 4 force abilities and some spells. Normal stats. Same with Lucide, more or less. Except he can't equip anything. For a religious figure, she seems remarkably down to earth. Worth noting, you cannot walk around as Anastasia or Lucide. That's true. Sorry, I gotta turn the sound down a bit. I had to turn the audio up on my computer because the file that I'm transcribing for my work right now is has an extremely low audio level. So it's all thrown off here. Anyway. Invisible wall. Pretty simple to solve, though. Who is that? Young girl's voice heard somewhere. Who are you? It's in your best interest to leave as soon as possible. No, this one is the same as us. They've taken on the burden to fight. Oh, so you're a friend of Anastasia? A bit narrow-minded, I'd say. Are they really reliable? I guess it'll be okay, as long as you don't hold Anastasia back. That kid is a friend who fought alongside me in another time. Through my memory, you have experienced the past. This isn't a dream. As proof, this chance meeting was perceived in the past as reality itself. Young girl's voice heard somewhere is a ridiculously wordy moniker. Yeah. So that character, the one who just walked through that door, that's Marival. We saw her in Disc 1 as someone who was hanging out with Irving sometimes for unknown reasons. In Damson City, she seemed to know Ashley in particular, even though he didn't know her. And she never revealed her face at that time. Well, all of that is pretty simply explained. She knew Ashley because, from her perspective, this meeting had already happened. It hadn't happened yet from Ashley's perspective, but it had from hers. This place is a sort of reality outside of Filgaia's normal space-time. So, essentially, this is the first time that she meets him, even though Damson City was the first time that he met her. This is a really interesting science fiction concept that I really love. The idea that if there's time travel involved, two people can first meet on two different occasions, each of which is only the first time that one of them saw the other. It's the other two examples that I always think of are Picard and Guinan on Star Trek The Next Generation, specifically the two-part episode Time's Arrow. It's the first time Guinan meets Picard. And The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which I was really into as a teenager. Lord forgive me. Where Haruhi and Kyon have two different first meetings because Kyon goes back in time at one point. I find the commonalities between these interesting. All of them are one male character, one female character. All of them have a relationship that is difficult to describe succinctly. But there is clearly a deep emotional trust between them. River Song in Doctor Who. I think you or someone else might have mentioned that before. Yeah, I don't watch Doctor Who, but I'm sure that show has explored that because timey-wimey ball, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting the way it deepens the relationship between these characters. And we also get to see a more immature side of Marival. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. The reason that she never revealed her face before... Okay. I'll take your word for that. Like I said, I haven't watched Doctor Who. The reason that Marival never revealed her face before is because she's a Crimson Noble, which is basically Wild Arms for vampire. They're vampires in all but name. So the light burns her. We will get to see more of her in this appearance. More invisible walls. These are walls here. Yeah. We can pick up these gems. These crystals activate Anastasia's memories. It's not just a story, it's a battle that actually happened. This sad sensation. I sacrificed myself to trap the blaze of disaster. That which is within you now is Lord Blazer, the blazing demon who once tried to consume the world. Power itself is neither good nor evil. It depends on the will of the power's user. Right now, the power within you may just be necessary for my beloved Filgaia. Let's go before it's all too late. Odd thing to say in a world without time. Let's check out these abilities, by the way. Impulse is a sword attack with power of friends, and Black Dash, slash enemy in a high-speed dash. Let's get this way. Cool. Impulse is pretty powerful. We should keep that in the back pocket. More invisible walls. Okay. There's Marable. You're not holding Anastasia back, right? This person's power is Lord Blazer himself. What did you say just now? Inside this person, in his interior space, dwells Lord Blazer. Did you seek revenge on someone from Filgaia? This person is the future Lord Blazer, not the one of our time. He's not an enemy, please understand. The stilted, archaic speaking style. Archaic isn't the right word. Stilted, definitely. Speaking style is definitely very pronounced here. Anastasia isn't really communicating super clearly. There we go. Gotta hit 2 more of these invisible walls. I don't know why I was able to hold the Argot Lom in my hands. I was just an ordinary girl who until then believed sword training was dumb. I never had a sword. But in reality, you fought and beat Lord Blazer. I went all out. It wasn't because I wanted to win, it was because I didn't want to lose the people I loved. Besides, I personally hate death. I really didn't want to die. Well, that disqualifies you as a magus. Rather than worrying about the world, I was thinking of myself and my family. Those thoughts might be similar to mine. There are no special qualifications necessary to get the Argot Lom. Because I have the blood of the Valeria family doesn't make me a hero. Was anyone else in my family able to get hold of the Argot Lom? There's no significance in the blood of the Valeria family. You said... I said there's no significance that I'm a blood relative of the Valeria family. We know this character in this location, but we've never seen this scene before. Hey, Claire. Got both of the Claires here. So just to review before we move on. We just learned that Irving is a descendant of the Sword Mages. He seems to think that this gives him some sort of special power authority, responsibility. But he can't actually wield Argedlon, despite his magical prowess. As Anastasia said, it isn't actually about birthright or bloodline. It's about wanting to protect people. It's just about your desire to protect people. You know, sorry, I could see y'all want to talk about Doctor Who. um, I was just thinking Star Wars did kind of this same thing. It's okay. Sort of, but they kind of messed it up in part because the sequel trilogy was not coherently written with an overarching story from one movie to another. But yeah, you remember Episode 7 gave us Rey. We don't know anything about her backstory, but she seems to have force powers. Maybe she's related to the Skywalkers or somebody. And then Episode 8 was like, she came from nothing. Which, I know Episode 8 gets a lot of flack. A lot of the flack is bullshit. Misogynist and racist bullshit. Rachel has also made some, I think, rather more salient criticisms of Episode 8. I'm talking about Star Wars. But she acknowledges that the bit about Rey's parents being essentially nobodies.
True best decisions of that movie.
What?
It's one of the best decisions of that entire film.
Yeah, absolutely. And
if you go back on it is an absolute betrayal of the one.
Yeah.
True step.
Yeah, and then Episode 9 retconned that into saying, no, our grandparent was actually Palpatine or whatever.
Somehow Palpatine is returned.
Episode 9 of Star Wars is bad. Hot take. I'm sure it's shocking, all of you. This movie that everyone agreed is bad for the past 6 years is bad. Yeah, it was. It was bad. I saw it once. I never want to see it again. But the underlying point here is that birthright is nonsense. Bloodline is nonsense. What matters is, do you protect people? Do you want to make the world around you a better place? Yeah, you can order a pizza. Rachel wants to order a pizza. I'm going to use my power of protection to order a pizza for Rachel. Well, you can order a pizza with my card.
Maybe cast protection from hunger.
Protection from hunger. Caring about stuff and doing stuff. And not just stuff, but also specifically caring about people. I want pizza too. Okay, well, you two message on Signal. I'm not going to be checking Signal for the duration of the stream. But let's get back to the game. Why does everyone obsess about heroes? Heroes are merely sacrifices made to confront absolute danger. Caring about pizza. Claring about pizza. And while we started this whole section seeing that... sorry, I'm just rearranging my windows here. We started this whole section seeing that Marina was thinking about Ashley. Ashley is spending this whole time thinking about Marina. Is this the part? Oh, this is my favorite puzzle in this dungeon. So, oops. Alright, we'll do the battle and then I'll show you the puzzle. Lucy gets to zoom these. Kind of hard to get a good view of it, but as we can see, the door is blocked. Can't go through. It's not really a door. Doorway is blocked. That little purple force field. Maribel is here, but she's walking on the rafters. And we know from experience that when we hit that switch, the rafter with the tile is going to fall down. What we have to do is time it so that she falls down too. It's the only timed puzzle that I actually like. Also, it's like the easiest timed puzzle. It's more just figuring it out and planning for it rather than the actual timing is pretty easy. You want to mess this puzzle up and accidentally trap her up there? Yeah, if you're not planning it, that can definitely happen. Obviously, it's not that hard to fix. You just leave the room and come back in. My whole family was burned to death because of it. Quit attacking Lucid. He doesn't recover health automatically the way Ashley does. It's annoying. Knock that one down, and then knock that one down. And then I think you still gotta go around. Was it the right or the left? I think I did it wrong. I think it was the left side. Yep, I sure did. I'll at least get the gems while I'm here. What's different about me is I didn't give in to despair. Everyone feels it with the blaze of disaster. Even though Lord Blazer killed all hope, I never lost the desire to live. I still wanted to eat lots of good food and have fun with my friends. I didn't want to let go of life so easily. That's what was special. My power was from desire. I don't really remember my first encounter with Lucide. Eventually, he was always by my side, but soon he became a presence I couldn't do without. It's Lucide for you. A long time ago, he told me that it was my willpower that gave Lucide his power. I think desire is simply the power of the will to live. Power is neither good nor bad. Never deny it just because it's full of desire. What saved Filgaia from the blaze of disaster was desire. What I have been told all along and what I had imagined is not the total truth. The Sword Magus is not a hero only by convenience. She is a sacrificial offering to this era. Her decorated body is a good camouflage. If that's not done, those who survived cannot feel good about the sacrifice. That's what it means to obtain excessive power. This is applicable to you now, too. And yet you still want to go back to Filgaia? You say that with no hesitation. I give up. So part of the reason that this section is so powerful for me in particular is because, like I said, it is kind of a reflection of my own religious beliefs. Obviously, I, as you all know, grew up in a very Christian country, the United States, but I myself am not Christian. And I've kind of had to grapple with my relationship to Christianity over the course of my life. My father's Jewish. My mother was raised Christian, converted to Judaism, but now I think practices a form of like neo-paganism, or at least identifies as pagan. My mom's such a hippie. I love her. I don't know if she's going to tune in for the stream, but if you do, Mom, hi, I love you. But my point is that, like, there's part of me that really doesn't like Christianity. And I've had to come to terms with the fact that, like, the main thing that I don't like about Christian, the main thing that makes me like fear or not trust Christians when I meet them is hostility to LGBTQ people, which is very much a problem of our time. It's not unique to Christians, but it does correlate with Christianity. I've also come to kind of recognize that, like, choosing to associate anti-LGBTQ hostility and Christianity is an association that is not going to work out well for us LGBTQ people in a country that's still majority Christian. More diverse than it used to be, but still very much majority Christian. It would be much better to simply remove that association, and so try to make alliances with pro-LGBTQ Christians. That's true. You're right, Boo. I would love that. But the other thing that I the other problem that I have with Christianity is the idea it's a religion based around a central savior figure. One person who is exalted above everyone else, who is sacrificed to protect everyone, is kind of a fucked up narrative. And that's kind of what Wild Arms 2 is about. And so it's really appropriate that after introducing at the beginning of the story this character who's very much obviously a Christ figure. The ones who make a big deal about being Christian probably hate us, yeah. This character who's very intentionally at the beginning of the story set up as a Christ figure, like she died to protect everyone. We come to meet her, and she's just a person. It's not that she's secretly evil or anything. No, she's a good person. But she's not superhuman. She's not a god. She's just someone who wanted to eat good food and hang out with her friends. Because the thing that really protects people is people. People protect each other. And that's kind of why I don't really vibe with Christianity on like a theological level, because it's very focused on one specific person protecting everyone. That's kind of the basis of the theology. It's Which is not to say that Christians are against community or against protecting each other necessarily. Obviously, there are plenty of Christians who are very pro community and very good people. It's just that's why I don't particularly like it as a faith. And this is like a very concrete illustration of why. I thought I had something else I wanted to say, but it eludes me now. I'm sure it'll come back to me later. More invisible wall puzzles. Oh, I remembered the thing that I wanted to say. One example of a Christian whose thinking I definitely do admire is John Donne, the theologian who wrote Devotion Upon... Oh, I'm blanking on the name, but it's a very famous passage. There's a very famous passage from his writings. He wrote a lot of stuff, but there's one particular, and you can tell it's a famous passage because there's stuff named after quotes from it. No man is an island entire of itself. Hell, you know what? Just for the sake of completion, I'm going to pull up the entire quote. No man is an island entire of itself. Each is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thine own or of thine friends were. Each man's death diminishes me, for I am involved in mankind. Therefore send not to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. That, of course, the bell is the funereal bell, signaling that someone has died. The point being that if someone has died and you hear the funereal bell toll, it is a tragedy regardless of who it turns out to be. Because All we have is each other. That's what I believe. Also a battle. Let's beat up some random monsters now. One of the chapters of Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door is for pigs the bell tolls, since whenever the steeple's bell chimes, someone in town gets turned into a pig. That's funny. I wonder if it was called that in the original Japanese, or if that title was made up for the English version. Obviously, "for whom the bell tolls" is a phrase that's been used in several works. Most famously, the novel by, I want to say it was Hemingway, who wrote the book "For Whom the Bell Tolls." The idea being that it expresses is the one that I was saying. We got to protect each other. That one, if I recall correctly, was about the Spanish Civil War, which was, of course, against Francisco Franco's fascist forces. And appropriately, I think Lord Blazer works pretty well as a metaphor for fascism. Trapped, that's all. He was not destroyed, he was just trapped behind the event horizon. Our powers aren't strong enough to destroy him now. If not today, maybe tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then another day. Tomorrow we will be stronger than we were yesterday. What has been trapped will one day be released. Let's fight together. That's what you said. Can your word be trusted? It's a promise. We'll fight together to destroy and vanquish him from Filgaia completely. I wouldn't say just a metaphor for fascism. Like, it definitely works as a metaphor for fascism. But it can be a lot of things. It is a very allegorical text. Anyway, this is another one of those camera tricks. I kind of gave it away accidentally, but if you just come up without turning the camera, you might not see that. As I'm sure you've noticed by now, I kind of have a habit of turning the camera probably more than I need to. Just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. So Ashley's just another character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, more or less. I mean, the Argetlom as a weapon is kind of reminiscent of Thor's hammer. In that it can only be wielded by someone who is supposed to be worthy. But people think worthiness is like... In the worst case, people think it's a matter of blood. Not sure you know that. Oh, Marival! No, I didn't. I didn't notice that. Marival cinematic. That's funny. I like that. Anyway, that got me. But like the point is that like worthiness is the desire to protect people. That's all it is. Here we go. Everyone ready for a really hard boss fight? Well, I hope not, because there's no boss today. No boss next week either. One of the weird things about Wild Arms 2 that I'm not really sure why this is the case is the period leading up to the end of Disc 1. There's just an onslaught of seemingly boss after boss after boss. And then when Disc 2 starts, there's like 3 or 4 hours of gameplay with no boss fights. And it's going to be even longer here because I keep blathering about everything. But even if you're just playing it straight up, there's like no boss fights for a while. And here's where Ashley's returning. And so that was what Ashley was going through during this period. Now we're going to see what the rest of the party was doing during this period. So they're tracking him via the empathite. Amy says, well, with Filgaia in the state it's in. In other words, Ashley might still be alive. Yes. Tim breathes a sigh of relief. One of those little bespoke sprite animations that I love. I don't mean to ruin the mood, but if the signal is so faint we can't locate its source, how will we conduct a rescue? You're correct, we don't have an exact point yet. We do know the general area. The Sword Cathedral. The coordinates are correct, but the axes are wrong. It could be a connected parallel universe. This is just one of those lines that sticks in my brain. As long as Amy and Lilka both try, they probably will be pleased at Lilka. Hey, that's me! Yep. This is one of those lines that just sticks in my brain, because I'm not... It's a very interesting line. The coordinates are correct, but the axes are wrong. Like, taken on a purely literal level, that would mean that it's just on a different part of a map. But I don't think it's supposed to be taken on a purely literal level. Like I said, a lot of this story of this game, especially this part, is allegorical or spiritual rather than literal. If the axes are wrong, we need to link from this side. Lilka has an idea. CLJ has a magic artifact for generating a space-time gate. This might ring some bells. The Millennium Puzzle. Yep, we're going back. What are our chances of success? So low I don't want to tell you the number, but not zero. It's that low. Even if the chances were 1%, that still wouldn't be 0. What is the distance between 0 and the number you're thinking of? That's just the number, Brad. The important thing is not to give up. So for that chapter, of our regular crew, we only had Ashley. Obviously, we also had Anastasia and Lucy, but they were only for that part. Here, we've got everyone in the regular crew but Ashley. Start the Millennium Puzzle with the switch blocks. So, the Millennium Puzzle has been, I don't know, gentrified. It's very different. It's now non-linear, and there's more to it than there was last time, and the monsters are harder. We can use the freeze rod to freeze these floating blocks, which was not something we could do before. Nope. There we go. Called the O2 Labyrinth now. If that's a reference joke, yeah, I don't get it. Sorry, it's lost on me. You know, ironically, given that that Lilka is the one most useful for walking around solving puzzles, I feel like she's the least useful in battle here. Okay, we can lower those. And then there's 2 areas we can get to from here. Let's try the south first. I don't remember all of these. We had a dome in London built for the year 2000. It was called the Millennium Dome, but eventually it got renamed the O2. Gotcha. I figured it was something like that. I live in Las Vegas. We don't have a dome, we just have a big orb. For some reason. I don't know why we have a big orb. Okay, here we go. 1 blue block. Ah. There we go. Three is red, 3 red blocks. We're gonna have to remember this for the end puzzle. See if we can knock these guys all out in one round. Alright, so blue is 1, red is 3. There's also a yellow and a green. Oh, it's this room. I believe the correct way. Do you remember this, Boo? Are you still here? I think it was this way. Though I'm not sure. Oh god, blue books. Gonna try to do that. Oops! That was the wrong button. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, that's usually what I do too. I did map out, recently I mapped out the trapezohedron, so I can go the quickest way possible through that dungeon, but I haven't mapped this one. I should do that. That seems like a good use of my time. And these guys drop full revives. This is just that same part. Let's try it again. Alright, one shot. Ah. Okay, so it's not that part, so it must... It must be the southernmost crystal down there. Now, how do we get there first? Okay. Another freaking spam bot. Possible banner. Yeah. And I missed my cycle because of the spam bot. Thanks, spam bot. Cost me like 3 seconds of gameplay. Okay, there we go. So blue is 1, green is 2, red is 3, which means yellow must be 4. One more regular section, and then we just got to put those numbers in, and we'll be good. Like, no, I'm gonna hit you and you're not gonna regain the health. We did unlock phalanx, right? Yeah. Okay. I think these guys did have a lot of health. Though probably not enough that I'll be able to actually get to phalanx. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna have some pizza after the stream. So we can... We could wait for that and go over to that part, although we would have to freeze one of the blocks so that we could do it, but I'm pretty sure that was just the same part we already did. So I don't think that actually takes us... Whoops. I don't think that actually takes us anywhere new. Instead, let's go this way. Whee! Going on up. These two are intertwined in a way that we could get that other crystal. But I think this is the way we're supposed to go. Oh yeah. This room is fun. So you can see in the back there, there's a whole bunch of these platforms. You can wander around that whole way. Or, you do it the short way, and just walk on the switch block. Shortcut. I do love that shortcut. And for yellow, and there we go. Okay. Go ahead and save my game here. Since I had that trouble finding my save files earlier. Alright, so it was 1 blue, 2 green, 3 red, and 4 yellow, right? Yeah, there we go. As above, so below. Very standard adventure game puzzle. I love that there's the same style of room that concluded each of the other 4 paths. Yep, sure is. But with no elevated blocks this time because there's no more to teach you. Yep. So they were unable to reach Ashley through the Millennium Puzzle. It's not that easy. But there are no road markers en route. Regardless, I must go there. It's a light that cures grief. Let's go again. I never wanted to hold the art that long. I was afraid to fight. I never wanted to be called a holy woman. I didn't want to die. So, Ashley has vowed to return not as a hero, as something else. And Anastasia can't go with him. But lend your strength to him. I bet y'all can hear Rach blowing her nose. It's fine. The point is to be connected with people. Not just in the big things, but in the small things. Hey, no sleeping on the job! That bunch of symbols that I have to imagine is a censored swear. I think that was supposed to be the implication there. It's just kind of silly, because it never happens at any other point in the game. Not so early in the morning. If they're asleep, slap them awake! Let me see if I can pause on it. They tried to do this 3D sweeping shot in a game that just fundamentally isn't built for 3D. And there it is. This is actually the awning above the door to the arm shop, but it's interfering with the camera shot here. And there he is. Yeah. Lilka was particularly excited about Ashley's return, since, if you recall, she has a bit of a crush on him. But Ashley loves Marina. Of course I'm happy. How could I not be happy? I'm happy. I'm very happy, and just a little bit lonely. It was about 10 years ago that I was on Twitter, which at that time was a reasonably good place to be. and I was posting just idly to myself about having not a lot of other people in my life who knew this game very well. And I specifically quoted this line, just a little bit lonely. And then someone replied to me, who I didn't know at the time, saying that they should play it again. Or that they should play Wild Arms again, because they hadn't played Wild Arms 2 at all. That was Rachel. And that was the first time that we met.
What?
I love you.
Yeah. Why did you stop to do that? Is it because flowers are pretty bevel of it?
No, the part that I was quoting when you first replied to me. The first time you ever replied to me.
The glasses would fall down?
I was not quoting Judecca.
I don't remember.
Well, watch this stream after it goes up. I'll show you later.
Are you reachable? It's the first thing you ever said. Okay, it's the second thing.
Anyway. So we're about to see something else, but before the vibe changes, I do just want to say that the return of Ashley is something that I have been thinking a lot about, in particular over the past year. You know, I've thought, I've said a lot about how this section of the game is very spiritually significant to me, and it's true, but it's also just very, like, emotionally significant. I'm a very yeah, that's true. Um, I'm a very introverted person. I don't get out much, and I'm not good at maintaining friendships, even with people I care very deeply about. And I've been trying to change that aspect of myself, in particular in the past year. I've been trying to talk to people more and to reach out and make connections with people. And this part of the game has given me strength for remembering that the connection to someone you care about and the desire to protect them is the most important thing in existence. It is the thing that brought Ashley back from beyond the event horizon. It is the only thing that matters in this world, is making connections with people. And yeah, I could talk about that for hours, but that's the essence of it. And like I said, this game, I feel like this game grows up with me, even though it doesn't literally change. It has been the same. It has always been the same game as it always was. It feels like the meaning changes to me as I grow and learn in my life, and it has. I have never played through it without feeling something new that I've never felt before. Though I dare say also that this particular playthrough, the one I'm streaming, is probably the most meaningful that I've had since the first one. Because it's the one that I've shared with the most people. I love you all. And now for the grim punchline. I said before that Lord Blazer kind of works as a metaphor for fascism. Blazer works as a metaphor for fascism as an idea, as a principle, as an ideology. It doesn't really work as a metaphor for fascism as an experience of society. Our strategy against Odessa is over. A new mission for arms to complete. I think it has been happening slowly for a long time now without us realizing it. While we were concentrating solely on Odessa, Filgaia has been slowly eaten away. It began with a sighting from the Astronomical Observatory in Sealter. The ocean lost its glimmer, the land its vitality, and eventually the sky was swallowed. It's the phenomenon of Filgaia no longer being Filgaia. We call this the stain paradigm. The principles of what make Filgaia Filgaia have been altered. And this is ultimately what the game is about. Not Odessa, not Lord Blazer, the stain paradigm. This follows what the chief of Baskar village told us. And this part. I heard from Anastasia in the Between World that you are a descendant of the Sword Mages. I didn't mean to hide it, I just never had time to bring it up. You can see how that's Irving's bloodline thinking at work there. And canon has that same bloodline thinking, obviously. That is, in fact, why she pushed herself to this extreme. as a descendant of the sword mages, she believes it is her destiny and her responsibility to destroy him. A here of ruins called the Grotto of Lords, which holds records of the wars. Okay. So we have the game plan for next week. Investigating in Baskar and the Grotto of Lords, which, by the way, is named after a real place, but obviously the version here is entirely fictional. That'll be next week. For now, let's save and quit. Say you don't want to continue, you get a sweet little musical note here. Okay. That'll do it for today. Bye, everyone. Be safe and take care of each other.